We got to turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents got to get shot and wiped out. The state machinery that's a full display right there has to get wiped out.
Turning back to that breaking news out of Chicago, Customs and Border Protection says agents were shot at while conducting an immigration enforcement operation earlier today.
Breaking news that a suspect is now in custody for that shooting on Saturday that occurred in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. What we have from federal sources is that a black Jeep had drove up on the federal agents as they were going about their jobs, fired some shots, and drove away. That suspect is now in custody, the result of a joint operation with the FBI, ATF, and Chicago police. They have picked up someone described now as an illegal alien who does indeed have a felony in his past for firearm violation.
You know, I want to say it would be shocking or something else, but I feel like with all of this rhetoric and all this what's been going on in the last several months with this rhetoric, political rhetoric directed at ICE agents, directed at CBP, it's not surprising that the level of violence against them has risen.
The nonsense continues, especially with Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and the Governor Pritzker. You ever notice every time something happens that is completely wild in Chicago, the people that are in charge are mysteriously quiet? You had ICE agents being shot at.
That suspect is now in custody, the result of a joint operation with the FBI, ATF, and Chicago police. They have picked up someone described now as an illegal alien who does indeed have a felony in his past for firearm violations. A firearm was found on this person. All of that is in addition to the alert that went out to Border Patrol agents warning them that the leadership of the Latin Kings street gang had put out a shoot-on-sight order to them. The director of ICE blames Illinois Democrats and the rhetoric calling them Nazis, fascists, and barbarians.
It's really disgusting in the fact that they keep trying to turn the tables on ICE with this crazy rhetoric that makes us out for being the bad guys for doing a law enforcement mission.
Federal officers ambushed in the city, one of the shooters allegedly an illegal immigrant. Now you'll think the mayor or the governor would come out swinging with a really strong statement, condemning the violence, promising justice, something. But no, nothing's happened like that. Mayor Brandon Johnson, I think, has said nothing. And J.B. Pritzker, I guess he was talking about, the overall situation.
Local elected officials are guarded today. Amid news, the Operation Midway Blitz is set to wind down dramatically.
DHS officials say the aggressive deportation efforts will still go on, but they might be much less flamboyant amid multiple reports that the Trump administration plans to scale back this operation and relocate that controversial Customs and Border Protection Commander Gregory Bovino somewhere else.
Whether it was the loss in the elections a week ago that's led to Donald Trump deciding to pull CBP out, or the fact that Greg Bovino is a snowflake on a day when you can see some snowflakes. Whatever it is, the people of Chicago have deserved better than having CBP and Greg Bovino in this city. But I would not say that we're now going to be free of these terrorized neighborhoods, because ICE and CBP probably will still be here, though they will have fewer people, and we'll have to continue to protect our neighbors and our friends and our families.
It's like they all became really silent when the situation didn't fit the narrative. Chicago, like New York, has its fair share of headlines, but this situation, federal agents getting shot at on your turf, that's basically a national security story. But the mayor wants to spend time lecturing us about systemic this and systemic that, than actually protecting people. Chicago has been on edge for years with the shootings, the carjackings. And the problem is we're not really getting a lot of real substantive solutions to these problems. They talk about equity and reform like those words can actually stop bullets. When you have the mayor and the governor being extremely aggressive towards the federal government, that kind of talk gives cover to anyone who hates rules, anyone who thinks violence is justice. And now this mindset has gone federal. ICE agents are getting shot at, they're getting their vehicles rammed through. This is what happens when rhetoric replaces law.
The president is not sending military troops to Chicago to keep us safe. We know this because Trump has a history of targeting Chicago. He issued a series of executive orders attempting to defund so-called sanctuary jurisdictions and sue the city over our welcoming city ordinance. The only radical is a president trying to deploy National Guard from across the country into our city. We do not need or want the National Guard to police our streets.
Good afternoon. I'm Marisa Vedra with this breaking news of a reported shooting at a Jewel Osco grocery store in Bronzeville.
It's a grocery store, so a lot of people in there are already trying to make ends meet. So what can you possibly go in there?
Arguing with the security guard in front of the store. The security guard manager was shot.
The Chicago Fire Department tells us 5 people were transported by ambulance from the scene. 2 people shot in serious condition. 2 people injured running away from the gunfire, and an unrelated injury.
Blood everywhere, and then one of the cashiers got shot in her foot, and she was losing a lot of blood.
So while the streets are turning into battlegrounds, the mayor and the governor looks like they're fighting each other. So Veterans Day was yesterday, and Pritzker was at Little Village. And then meanwhile, one of Brandon Johnson's guys, Alderman Byron Lopez, decided to confront the governor in public.
Talk about what we need to do to help our community.
What we need is a progressive income tax, a graduate income tax in the state.
And when is going to happen? Yes.
Yeah,
or the surcharge.
You know that I've worked very hard to get that passed when I first got elected.
Yes, I mean, listen, and you got one more second. Wait, no. One more second. No.
Lopez starts shouting about progressive taxes and fighting the rich as if that's going to stop the next shooting. And this is the issue here. The mayor's crew, they're obsessed with the taxes in the budget, which I understand what's going on there, but the city is losing control. They're focused on punishing business owners with this head tax and not even protecting citizens, arguing about who pays more while people out there dealing with this crime in the streets. This is a lot of philosophy, not real practical solutions. When you do tell people the system is evil, they're going to start acting like enemies of the system. If you say these ICE officers are oppressors, don't be surprised when someone pulls the trigger on one. You reap what you preach. And Chicago has been preaching this type of resentment for a long time.
So, Mayor Brandon Johnson, look up here. Look up here. Look up here. You got a real South Shore resident of 63 years up here. Not no paid protester. Not somebody that's paid with a 501c3. You got a real, live South Shore resident at this mic. Now what you're going to do for the citizens of South Shore and the black people of Chicago, you're going to stop with all this fake black facade you're doing. You're going to stop that. Because first of all, you're going to deal with the fact that word on the street is you're a Haitian. And if that be the case, that explains a lot. But if you're not, we're going to dethrone this self-acclamation you gave yourself at that Black Caucus thing, where you said that you're the freest black man in America right now. I dare you insult black men like that. You are a far cry from that. You're sitting here talking against Trump, trying to make him look this way or that way, when we right here this morning saw you misuse the police department to violate our rights as citizens. Yes, right. You told them that they cannot participate in getting these illegal immigrants while you sat up here and misrepresented that raid on South Shore Drive like black people was getting beat up and all that over there. You know that's a lie. I live over there, and black people over there, we kicking in and we chilling because ICE ain't looking for us. And you know they're not. They're coming to get what we asked our president to do, and that was to engage in mass deportation, to get these illegals out of our country. We are coming for them seats. Do you understand that? And while you got these people up in here acting like they pro-police, if they really was about the police, against the police, whatever the case may be, they deal with that Laquan McDonald Act so that we can get y'all up out of that seat. Yeah, you wipe your face. Yeah? You wipe your face because you're probably out breaking out in a sweat. Let me tell you something. We coming for them seats. And at first, I said it to you. Then it spread it to city council. But now you're going to mess with the black people of America and American citizens by being a fraud and showing the Democratic Party by how lousy they really are.
Now you have neighborhoods where people cheer when ICE gets hit because the mayor and his allies turn law enforcement into villains. They don't realize once you make violence sound righteous, it doesn't stop where you want it. It can hit multiple different areas. And here's the wild part, where people will ask for order, they're being told that they're against progress. When cops enforce the law, they're being called agents of opposition. So what really? Good cops will quit, federal agents will continue to be attacked, and the same leaders who fueled this hate pretend to be shocked. It's a cycle. It's a self-made storm. And going back to the budget, I think that there is going to be a rift between Mayor Johnson and J.B. Pritzker. Pritzker is a billionaire. Johnson doesn't like billionaires. Pritzker doesn't want to deal with Johnson's chaos and antics and how terrible the budget is and how there's a lack of transparency what's going on. And Mayor Johnson doesn't want to hear his rhetoric backfiring of Pritzker complaining about the business tax, considering he's a business guy. So they hide behind all this policy talk, the taxes, the budget, the revenue. They're hiding everything but the truth. And the truth is that their words have consequences. And the people with nothing to lose are listening. And these type of things will continue to happen, because not just talking about the criminals anymore. We're talking about ideology. When the mayor starts sounding like a protester instead of a leader, you will lose control, because now you've told people authority has no authority. And that's not really progress. That's permission to do crazy stuff. But let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. And also, real quick, I have a new channel, just posted a video. Hit the subscribe button on that one too if you're interested. It's kind of on the same style of what we do here on this channel. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.